Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. So yeah, here is not too much to update, so I keep it brief here in this update. Again, still the view that we came down from the 25,200 level down in a wave 1. I'm of the view that this here was the wave 2 already, that we had an A, B, C here, yeah, the yellow wave 2, that we are now in this third wave, could very well take us into the region 15,000 to 16,900, yeah, this wave 3. And within the wave 3, it is likely we have seen already the wave 1. Yeah, we talked about that extensively, that we had a 5-wave move here to the downside and that we are now moving up in a wave 2. Based on this, yeah, and this is valid as long as we stay above 19,400. Yeah, that is my view. Below that, I think we can get a further sell-off quite quickly. But as long as we're holding the $19,400 level, we could now be carefully confident that we're moving up in a wave 2. What kind of conditions need to be fulfilled for that? Well, you know, if we say we had a wave 1 down here, at least that's one. I mean, there are a couple of possibilities. We could say the wave 1 ended here. That's actually possible as well. In this scenario, we would have here A, B, C. And then we would be looking at a 5-wave move up. And to be fair, we can, if we went now into a very lower, lower level wave count, we could really look at this as a small impulse and this as a wave 2. But then further evidence required to move higher. So we need to break above the 20,430 level next. If we do this, yeah, we can assume that we are in a wave 3, in a small wave 3. Bear in mind, we're doing micro counting here. So we would have here the 1 up, the 2 down, and the wave 3 should take us into the region around 21,100, just so that you have an orientation of what's going on here. It is also possible that this here was the wave 1 and we are now also moving up in a, yeah, basically an ABC pattern, of which the wave A could also be an impulse. So it's important that we now start to look for smaller 5-wave structures to the upside. And yeah, we have the first one too. They do happen all the time. They can be used for trading. Obviously, the condition is that we're holding certain key levels, and a very important level is the 19,400 level. But looking at this here on the lower level, it would be needed and required that we are now holding the 78.6% FIB level at 19,800. That's here really micro counting we're doing. Could even push that a bit higher. Let me just adjust this properly. No, it's 19,800 pretty much. That would need to hold. It could be we've only seen the wave A down, the B up, the C down would follow in a smaller wave 2 and should find support above 19,800. Then we have a clue we could go up, yeah, above 20,435. Now that's to a degree speculation, but it gives you the key levels to watch out for based on the Elliott waves, to make it likely that we are now getting into a wave 3, into some kind of a breakout pattern. I mean, if you look at this from a, let's say, more traditional TA point of view, you could even say we have a triangle pattern here. Yeah, I mean, you would normally say these might be trend continuation patterns. In the end, it doesn't really matter what the trader expects in terms of in which direction a pattern breaks out. We want to let the market show us and then react to it and take appropriate action. If you now say, oh, it's probably going to go down or going to go up from here, that is not really any evidence-based trading. Yeah, that's purely gambling. Based on that, you would actually expect it's going to go down. Yeah, but again, it's not very useful, such an assumption, because it is not based on any evidence. We want to see a breakout and ideally a retest. And if you see the breakout to the upside, which based on the wave count would of course be possible, yeah, not necessarily likely, but as I said, we want to let the market show us. I showed you now and gave you the key breakout points above. We could then assume that we are already in a wave 3. Yeah, until then, again, it's also speculation. So what we can understand though is that there's a good chance that this move down here has been exhausted and we're now waiting for the market reaction. At the moment it's just in a range here. Yeah, and based, you know, if you get such a range, you could call it a bearish pennant, and it could very well come down. As long as it holds above 19,400, we could still expect here, let's say, a more bullish, let's call it a bullish retracement. But certainly a retracement in a wave 2. It could still also, if we hold above $19,400, be in a bullish scenario. The bullish scenario would mean that we go above 22,100. Yeah, and if we go above 22,100, it is actually quite likely that we switch back into a bullish scenario. I did explain that in previous videos. Again, it's based on Fibonacci retracements. Above the 22,100 level, it's just very unlikely that this here is still a reliable wave 2. So again, we're not trying to predict market movements here. We are applying the rules of market structure and fibs and likely retracement levels to understand from which point of view or from which level we are switching from one scenario into the other. So therefore, what you need to understand, for the bullish scenario to play out, which would mean we can actually make higher highs from here, we need to hold the $19,400 level and break above 22,100. Unless we do this, I will assume that we are in this yellow wave count and that we will come down further. But also in this scenario, we would be expecting obviously a wave 2 retracement to the upside fairly soon. And that's my view about Bitcoin. Yeah, that's my view about Bitcoin. Don't misunderstand me. Even here in the white wave count, which is part of the wave 3 here in yellow, yeah, we could come down a little bit lower. That's not a problem. Yeah, that would actually be in line with a higher level trend here of the wave 3 in yellow. But you need to be on high alert now for a reversal. Why? Because we have seen 5 waves down. This move can be exhausted or is probably getting close to exhaustion and can now move up at any time. So when you have 5 waves complete, keep an eye on the chart. Okay, and that's my update about Bitcoin. Obviously, I'll keep you updated. Not too much movement now. So hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And as always, if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.